Hi Aries, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Aries, I have pre-shuffle energy for you before we get into pulling cards together. Now, you pulled out conclusion and book. That's crazy, right? Like both these cards have like a book, have books represented in them. This was really giving me like, not only have you come to the end, but you close the book. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I can hear the book closing in my mind's ear. No, what else I call that? My mind's ear. It's like there's something that you've been through here. This is a chapter in your life that is concluded. There's no more questions possibly to ask in this area of your life. Like you close the book, boom, and that's it. Like something, it's such a final energy. Now, then there's this, okay? You just have two underlying cards. You have the Lily and Forbidden. So this is almost like too, like the Lily is giving me this impression, like, you know, if you put flowers at a grave, or you put flowers, you give somebody flowers to conclude an ending, to have the symbol of peace as well, and forbidden. So something in the past here was forbidden. This card has been coming out a lot in the last, I don't know, maybe a week or so, like off and on. And then in the collectives, like it's really been kind of like swimming around. And then it's been buried at different points in underlying cards too. But it's always like kind of like appearing lately. So there's something about this. And I feel like it's something that is closed and you've come to peace. Something that you've come to peace with in your life. The forbidden is coming across to me like walking past a threshold. I'm seeing somebody on the other side of like I'm seeing the door like push open, and I'm seeing you walk out the door, come down the stairs, and the door closes behind you. You kind of like hear it. There's something about auditory in your reading. Like I'm picking up, like I'm hearing like the book close, and I'm hearing like the door like kind of like not so much a squeak but almost like a grinding scrape, like more like a grind, like really old hinges that have rust on them, kind of like grinding as the door closes, and boom. And it gets your attention. You didn't expect that to happen. It gets your attention, and you look behind, and you go to, I believe the handle, yeah, the handle is right in the middle excuse me, of the door here. And you go, and the door doesn't open. So it's coming across as forbidden. Like that cycle, that period is over. You can't there's no access to that. But it doesn't feel like a bad thing. It feels like it's just like at the end, like this almost feels like that there's a very dark place on the other side of that door. You come out, the door closes, and there's only one direction to go in, right? Down the stairs and forward. I don't know how else to say it. You have come to a conclusion here. If this is a cycle, if this is something that you concluded in writing prior to today, if this is something that you concluded verbally with someone, even prior to today, it's almost like the way this is coming across, it is the cosmic conclusion to something. Like it could be an energetic conclusion, a spiritual conclusion to something here. What? I don't know. It's like the book is closed. It feels like the only way forward is like, well, that's just it. The only way to go is forward. So, well, we're going to do the energy oracle deck. Okay, so Aries, because of that, I'm going to ask your energy now and then in the future. Because it just gives me this impression like, what am I going to read? You're just standing at the threshold here. You're just standing at the stairs. The book is closed, thump. And that's it. Right? Like I'm literally seeing someone who's been sitting and engrossed in a story or a book, but this is your life. And page after page after page, and just like being focused on that, like focused in that tunnel on the other side of that door. And then page, and that's the end. Now, because this is the first time that I've ever had this combination come out, it kind of gives me the impression that most of the time, or maybe in your case specifically, you've gotten to the end of the page and it says the end. And then it's kind of like you sit there. You know, you think that, and you sit there after a really good book, whether this was a good book or not for you. You sit there after a really good book. And you think, oh, that's it. It's all over. Like, you know how you can feel like really attached to all the characters that you explored and that you started to get to know in a story. And it's just like you just sit there and go, wow, all right. So it's almost like that was a part of your cycle here, just kind of like sitting there and maybe coming to terms with the fact that something has come to an end, and then you close the book. So that also like feels like walking out the door, going down the steps, close the book, put it down, and walk away from it. Not just sitting there with it in your lap. Open where it says the end and going, huh, that's all. Okay, your energy right now. Hostilities, okay. Maybe there's something that you're trying to get finished here. And in the future, woman holding a heart. Well, that's nice. That's nice. I don't know what you're battling out right now. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. You are so close to a conclusion, you wouldn't fucking believe it. I mean, I don't know how else. There's no other way. I don't think, well, we could get the world card. That wouldn't express this to me like something is over like it is. It's crazy. Adjacent possibilities and attachment. Options, so many, but it's like so many options from the past. The door is closed. You can't go through it. The door is closed. It's kind of like, was there a door there that I didn't open? Or was there a door there that I didn't stand in front long enough? That's very curious. So right now you are dealing with something. Maybe you need to protect yourself. Maybe you are dealing with a situation where somebody is trying to slander or backstab you. Oh, wait a hot minute. There's the stairs. The stairs are behind him with the sword. Huh. Okay, this just played out for me, and like sort of like a story, like a picture story, like a movie. And I see you coming out here, walking down the steps and taking a path. And you follow the path. It's sort of like how life goes. Now there's a path that you're on. You know, things are playing out around you. You're interacting with those things. You're making choices and decisions on those things. And you're walking down this path, and suddenly you find yourself here. It's like, yeah, that's where you are right now. Something has come to an end for you. Very, very clear. There's another set of steps behind. And these steps are now simple. It's almost like this turns into, it looks the same, but it's kind of like how life goes. This is what you see. This is the door that you see as you're approaching like a new cycle in your life, and it's climbing up the stairs, and it's going inside to whatever is in there. It's like it's entering the book. It's entering a book or a phase of your life here. Now, it's interesting because it's coming across like you might be there a little soon. So you might be a little early. You might be a little ahead of your time with this, because this is looking like you're held back from going up the stairs into. So once you exit one of these portals or cycles in your life, it's forbidden. You can't go back through. When you approach a new one, the timing is specific and you can't go in until it's ready. Okay? Wow, really interesting. So in the future, this is nice though. Whatever you're entering on the other side of that is nice energy, but you are held back from going there. You are not able to go there. So what that is, I don't know what area of your life it is. It could have something to do with family. It could have something to do with friends. It could have something to do with love. But, well, I think it does have something to do with love, obviously. And this could be around your family or your friends. It could be a new experience that you're going to have with someone here. It could be a new person that you're going to meet, or that's going to be a big part of the next volume of your life. You know, like a volume, like a book. So This is like, I mean, he's coming across like the gatekeeper. And you can't go forward. Now, how this comes across to me is it's not telling you that this path isn't possible. It's just, it feels like it's the timing. When you walk out of one of these, it closes and you're not going back in. When you approach one, the timing has to be specific. So I feel like nothing is really wasted in nature and the cosmos. And if there's something that we thought we were going to do, an intention that we wanted to go towards, and it's not accessible to us, or it's just not playing out in our favor, it's like, I just keep hitting roadblocks in this. It's like, I feel like he's almost saying, you know what, this is the only path I'm blocking you on. You can go this way, you go that way. And it's almost like something about exploring. Busy yourself. It could be like busy yourself while you're waiting for some other area of your life to pick up here. So hostilities. The Seven of Cups and the High Priest. What I'm really drawn to here are their hands. Oh, it focuses. See the Seven of Cups guy? It's almost like, stop. And then why? Because that's the boss. The boss is upstairs. Stop. That's who's in charge here. There's also some confusion about a commitment. It's just like it's slipping into like regular tarot shit now. It's just like a confusion here. Some sort of confusion about a commitment about something. Or an unknown commitment. Someone might be hostile towards you. You might be committed to something and they don't know why or what it is. Or you could be dealing with someone, you're like, I don't know why they're committed to that, or I don't know what they're committed to. Why is the confusion? Plans got changed. No kidding. Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. There's some type of confusion here because plans got changed. So it's kind of making me wonder too, like, did you appear at this gate? And it's like, oh, plans got changed. Didn't you hear? No, you're not going over here. No, I think you are. You can't find yourself down the wrong path the way this is coming across. Like, and I really don't think you can. You're meant to go down the roads that you do go down. And they don't always, like, right? Like our own human ego mind has kind of an idea about, wow, this needs to turn out this way or this needs to happen in this fashion. But, you know, stop. Who's the boss here? What's really going on? Because some type of plan has changed. So there's a bit of confusion here. Maybe. I want to say the guy's it almost comes across like a little bit of a comedy. So it doesn't feel like a really, like, aggressive hostility card. It's almost like, oh, yeah, plans got changed. Okay, you gotta go down there. All right. And we're still fixing up this portal. The High Priestess, or the High Priest, the Hierophant. The Four of Swords. Plans got changed. The plans are centered around some type of healing, some type of rest. It's almost like maybe it's saying, like, take a break between books. Take a break between books. It's not your whole life. It's just one particular area where you're not necessarily meant to jump right back into a new book. Have you ever done, like, has this ever happened to you where you've read a really good book, but maybe it's a long book, but it's also one that really, like, pulls you in and you get lost in the characters and the story, and then you close it and it's almost like a part of your life ended. Like, oh, that's it. Now what? And then you might sometimes want to try to reclaim that glory of that story, and you'll jump into another book. Okay, let's go. And you start reading and it's like, oh, that's not the same. And then if anything, like, there's a similarity in this book to the other one, maybe it's a name. Maybe it's, it could be something like that. Like, let's say it's a name of a character. You can start to get confused about the storylines. Well, I don't know. I can have this happen because the other book is so fresh in my mind. There's something about that here. And it could have to do with friendship, family. It definitely has something to do with love for you. And it's like, don't jump into the next book right away. Like, give yourself some time so that when you do get into the next volume for yourself, the characters are all fresh. Everything feels fresh. And it makes sense, no? So on the other side of when I feel like you are able to go up these stairs and enter a new cycle, a new volume, it has a very like Jumanji kind of feeling to it. I know it was a board game, but it's like kind of like entering the book and being a character in your own story. So woman holding a heart. Oh. Yeah, it's going to be worth waiting for this book, baby. I can tell you right now. So you get the Two of Wands, the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, and the Empress. I'm going to peg you out as the Emperor in this one. No, it is your sign. Check out the Queen of Swords. She's like seeing the Empress. Like that. If this has anything to do with your love life, Aries, give yourself time. Like if you've ended a relationship, if one has ended, or yeah, one has ended in whatever regards that could be. This is, give yourself time here. The universe has something special. That's what I want to tell you. The universe has something very special here for you. And the way I describe the storylines, like don't mix one book up with another. Keep these two volumes completely separate and make sure that you've had time to alchemize and not forget, but really like sort of the emotional resonance that you tie into characters when they're part of your life, whether that is through a book, but in this case, it feels like through your life. Give it time for those characters to kind of do their natural sort of like fade out as you move into this new story here for you, because this is the Emperor and the Empress, and you're going to see something very clearly, and you will perhaps see it very clearly when you are not so involved in another volume here, another story. I mean, it's like a divine masculine and feminine situation here for you. 100%. The Lily. That is peace and conclusions. The Four of Swords. Not the Four of Swords. You already have that. That's part. Four of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Three of Swords. Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're on your way to, if you thought the last book was good, or maybe it wasn't, I don't know, the next book is going to be very good. And it's going to be about going after like dreams and wishes and fulfilling those. I want to see the conclusions in the book. Now this makes a lot of sense, right? It's almost like, this is reminding me of a library and the doors feel like they're books. Picking up a new book and reading a new chapter. And I think Aries is usually pretty good. You guys can follow me usually. Pretty good. I don't usually get too many snide remarks from the Aries group. Right? Like the book represents cycles in your life. And not just cycles, but I feel it also represents like genres in your life or themes in your life. So these doors feel like books. And right, it's almost as if like looking for a book before it's too soon. Looking for a book too soon will cause you to be confused about what it is that you're looking for. Because you might in some way almost want to, you're like, oh, I want to read another book just like that. No, that won't be the same thing. It just won't be the same thing. Sometimes you need a completely different story, a completely different author. But if you go into that book expecting it to be, or expecting it to satisfy you the way the last book did, I don't know, we're going with this. It's not going to be the same. So let's go to conclusion and book. Let's conclude this reading. Conclusion. Page of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, some of you I feel like it's not even over. Some of it isn't even ended. There's something here that does need to end. And you can't read two books at once. That's the other thing. Interesting with the page, it could have something to do with a learning cycle as well. It could have something to do with the learning cycle with the books and a page. You can't, so there's certain things that you need to learn, and even if you've been through experiences that you've encountered already. There's something about process here. Like process and alchemy is very powerful. Temperance hasn't come out, but it's like literally like spread all over this reading energetically. It's holding something off until the end. You know, it kind of gives me this vibe too. If you ever, God, I have to think back like a long time ago. If you were like in an English class or a literary class of some sort, and you had to read a novel or a book, and it was okay, and you're reading it, and then you get wind of what the next one is, like the next one that you have to read and do, like write something up about. And it's almost like it's difficult to get past I gotta finish this book. I have to finish this book. Because then it's like picking up a new book, picking up the new book here. You cannot, you gotta finish this one. You can't read two at once. Maybe some of you could. Could you do that? Could anybody do that? Could you all do that? Could you read two books at once? I don't think I could do that. I swear to God, I know I would mix up the characters. I mean, like, why are there fairies in the hospital now? That doesn't make any sense. It's not the hospital book anymore. The book. So what is the book? And in this case, the book is closed. The Moon, the Two of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. There's adventure in this book. There's mysteries and adventure. Oh, yeah. No, I don't know specifically how it comes across. The best way I can describe this is like volumes, and not chapters, but volumes of your life. And it kind of is almost like hearing through the grapevine what the next book is that you're about to read, or you have a feeling, like maybe you do, like this is a really powerful energy that's coming to you in your next cycle, in your next reading assignment. And yeah, that's a good book. It's a good book. So of course you would want to jump, but you can't. You have to, because it's like you have to complete this. If you don't, well, maybe you're not allowed to read the next book. Such a curious reading. With the Seven of Swords, you can't even sneak. Don't be sneaking in. Don't mix up the two books, because it'll get confusing. It'll get confusing if you mix up the two books. Well, I'm going to go do the extended for you. In the extended, I'm going to ask, what is the unexpected coming towards you? That could be interesting, because this, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of looks like it's, you're not allowed to pass, but you're not allowed to pass. You cannot pass. You can't go up the steps. You cannot go up the steps, but it's like you can go sideways. You can go back, but you know you can't go back into that other space, but you can go sideways. You can explore here. Oh, you guys had such a curious reading last week. It was like love the one you're with, right? Ah, that's interesting. Now, it may not be about like an individual person, but it's almost like, well, I don't know, because I know it's probably not a book. Probably not doing a tarot reading, and I'm doing, I'm picking up the book that you're reading, and you know what the next book is, and you're so excited to read it. Maybe. But it literally is like you have to stick with the one that you're with. You have to read that one. You have to finish that. So yeah, I'm going to go to the extended. I'm going to see what the unexpected is coming towards you, Aries. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.